I don't think there's really a lot of strategy here as far as selecting that opener to try and push your competition around. Most likely just to set themselves up for the best warm-ups. Martinez opener 87.
95 is the best.
Should be pretty comfortable. Yep. Looked pretty solid, routine lift.
That's going to shake up a lot of the cobwebs because she actually didn't register a snatch at the World Championships 4 months ago, so just to get that on the board is great. In fact, she has bombed out of her last 2 internationals. It was the World Championships last year and then the European Championships last year. Prior to that, she'd had a 8 competition run streak of very successful performances. So hopefully she can get a total under her belt today. Sabine Kusterer now coming out, 87 kilos for her opening attempt. This equals her best snatch from the World Championships last year.
It's a heavy opener.
Yeah, very.
Just taking your time in the warm-up. Getting everything set. Pretty good attempt. A little bit shy on the power there. She did make a good pull, but it just wasn't as aggressive or as authoritative as we'd probably like to see for an opener.
So it looks like Sarah was going to come out at 88 kilos there, but she has bumped up. And so Garance from France may now come out, 88 kilos. We have four athletes asking for 88 for their openers, and another 2 with it currently on their second attempt, so those are just the automatic increases. So about half of the athletes in the field right now have 88 written in.
Yep, another move.
Yeah.
Brings out Gordon Brown, the UK. Let's see if, yep, she's going to take this 88.
Okay, here she comes. This is the opening attempt now for Jessica Gordon Brown at 88 kilos.
Oh, good save.
That is a personal best on the international platform for an opening attempt.
Wow.
You can tell that she snatched 93 the other day, can't you?
Yeah. You know, that was a little bit forward. She just didn't quite have that really snappy turnover like we've seen from some lifters, but she definitely put it together there and saved that lift really nicely.
Okay, so here we have now the opening attempt of the Bulgarian athlete, Galia Shatova, 88 kilos.
Oh, very good speed. That was a solid snatch. Yeah, very technically solid.
So when I saw Jess Gordon Brown in the training hall a few days ago, we had a chat about how her training's gone. She said she feels confident enough to snatch 95 kilos if she needs to. She's been working a lot on her confidence, she said, just in catching the weight overhead. She's been working on snatch balances, got up to 100 kilos.
Oh, wow.
Just to sort of prove to herself that if the weight's there, her upper body is going to hold it.
Yeah, she looked great on that opener.
4 attempts, 4 made lifts. It's a good start to this women's 59 kilo session.
We like to see that. So
Sabine just moved up. which I think is finally going to bring out Sara Ratulinen from Finland for her opener of 89. We then have, I mean, Max, we have 6 athletes, with 7 athletes now with 90 kilos written in.
Yeah, that'll probably change. I have to imagine we're going to see some people moving to that 91, but it does beg to...
You could be out in 1 minute or you could be out in 7. It's not easy.
Exactly. Well, it's also who gets to take that first one at 90, you know, assuming that maybe there's going to be some misses, and that could be the highest there. Puts you in a better spot. 89.
Okay, Sara comes out now, 89 kilos. Wow.
Oh. Good save. She was a little bit forward on that.
Yeah, slow in the pull, but you know, she holds her positions. That's 2 kilos under her personal best, so not a bad way to kick things off.
We've seen a lot of these lifters actually very methodical. A lot of methodical approaches. They're taking their time. Most of these girls so far have settled down before they even start the pull.
Yeah.
And we've seen in some of the other sessions almost as if some of the lifters basically have somewhere else to be. They've just run up and grabbed the bar, and it has not ended well. So it's nice to see such methodical approach to this.
So Garance Rigaud will now come out. She made 89 kilos at the European Championships last year. She placed 6th, so she's opening up in a better place than she was this time last year. She actually hasn't competed internationally since July, so she's had a bit of time off. She competed at the Mediterranean Games. Didn't really go heavy, 82.95 were her lifts there. And she hold it.
Yep. Tiny bit forward there again. We're seeing a few of these athletes a little bit forward, but they're also some pretty big attempts here.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy openers. And
that looked like one of those. It looked like one of those lifts where she ended up further forward than you'd expect, because it was a little forward, but it wasn't much.
Yeah.
It was more that as she started standing, it was almost as though she sort of started pushing the bar forward as she stood.
Exactly.
And that caused her to run, you know, a couple yards forward to save the weight, but it wasn't in a bad spot when she caught it. Over to Greece now, Maria Cardara, 90 kilos. And again, another athlete who's opening in excess of their international best. 88 is the most we've ever seen from her.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of heavy openers here, heavy lifts, because like we talked about, athletes just generally trying to get into those top spots to make the Olympics. They've got to be top 8. We know that 8th place at Worlds is about 217, so we're going to see a lot of people shooting to get close to that. Very nice snatch. One of the best so far.
Yeah.
Really solid.
Yeah, so solid in that overhead position. Great lockout. Very little sort of wobbling to make any minor corrections. She was just in the right place straight away. Wow.
Well, now 90's been done, so we'll see. Still more taking this.
Yeah, we've had 2 at 90.
Yeah.
With quite a few more athletes with it loaded in. Another 5 have it. And Camilla Konotop has put in 100 kilos for her opening attempt, which I wouldn't be surprised if she stuck with, considering she was snatching over 100 in the 55 kilo category.
Yeah.
She may well open up there and pretty much take a gold.
Just a hair forward.
She can tell.
Yeah. Didn't quite get tight enough there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Really frustrated, you can see that.
So Max, why is it that so many more athletes miss in front than behind? We've seen a few athletes missing behind, but of course it is far more rare from a technical point of view? What's going on there?
Well, generally, if you're missing in front, it's either an issue of trajectory, the bar's just not getting back where it belongs, or potentially just strength. The bar's not getting where it needs to go. It's not high enough. I think it's more obvious, or it's more likely people will try to rush through the explosion, try to put energy in the wrong time at the wrong place, and they end up just misdirecting the bar a slight bit out front.
Sabine now will take her second attempt at 90 kilos.
Oh. That looked like a good pull. She was strong enough there. She was deep enough in the bottom, but it did just roll behind her there. Let's see if we get the replay here. You can see from the side, pretty good pull. Great speed under, but it just was drooping to the right side there and then rolled behind. Shatova with 90. We'll see if she takes this. It would only be a 2 kilo jump, and her opener looked pretty solid.
So Max, you mentioned about the 8th place finisher at the World Championships, totaling 217 kilos. The reason you mentioned 8 places, for those who don't know, is that the top 8 in the world will get offers to the Olympic Games in 2024. There are a few reasons why maybe they won't. If they have a teammate who's also in the top 8, they wouldn't get it. But generally, these athletes are trying to get a total that registers in the top 8. Of course, the Pan American Championships just happened, so things will have moved around a little bit. But as it stands, I believe that there's only one athlete out of Europe in the top 8, and that's Camilla Konotop. And then when we look at lifters like Lucrezia Magistris, she's going to be doing everything she can to get up into that top 8 today. And realistically, you're going to need somewhere around that 220 kilo mark in the total to make that, which might prove to be a bit too much for her, but we'll wait and see.
Much better.
Yeah. She did have to settle, though.
Yeah. Great presence of mind, though. She stayed down there, waited till she was perfectly balanced, then tried to get up. We see that a lot. Lifters maybe rushing through that and ending up running forward or dropping the bar as a result.
It's the third day of commentary, and I've been waiting for you to say great presence of mind. It's a bit of a catchphrase at this point. You hadn't yet said it at this European Championship, so I'm glad we got the first one done. Now they can hopefully come out a little bit more frequently. Sabine's third attempt now, 90 kilos. She made 87 on her opener, then missed 90 on her second attempt. Wow.
Wow, that was a really good snatch.
She's got such a wide grip overhead, which makes it extremely difficult to prevent any forwards or backwards momentum. Just a little bit trickier to hold overhead, but it does reduce the difficulty in bar height.
Similar grip to some of the Turkish lifters, with that really wide grip, that very externally rotated arm, and then the wrist is in total extension. Gives a little sideways look there. Rapiros Dimas.
Second attempt now for Jess Gordon-Brown from GB. 91 kilos. This would be, well, it would be 4 kilos more than she'd ever made internationally prior to today. She already hit a personal best on her opener. Oh, wow, that was nicer than her first, I think. Wow. So close from this side angle. It looked almost unimaginable that she wasn't going to get up with that once she caught it.
Yeah, she was in a great spot, but maybe just rushed a tiny bit to find that balance.
Yeah, what happened there?
Well, she started moving backwards. I think her hips started to move back, her body weight shifted back, and the bar didn't move back to compensate. As the lifter stands from the bottom of the squat, their hips have to move up a little bit. And as she did that, the bar drifted forward just a hair. That's really a shame because that was a great pull.
Yeah, she'll be extremely disappointed if she isn't able to come back out and make that.
There's Shatova. She's taking a 3 kilo jump. A little bit more conservative jumps here we're seeing.
Yeah, we even saw that with the Bulgarians yesterday. Dimov, very conservative in the clean and jerks, and that meant 61s. That looked pretty maximal.
Yep, that looked pretty heavy. She really wasn't even in a good enough position to hold that. You could see she had to round the upper back just to get under it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be strong enough.
There was really not a lot of rhythm in that pull. The bar came off the floor and it sort of stayed at the same speed until it made contact with the hip. And then, you know, there was a tremendous explosion. She moved under fast, but there wasn't a huge amount of moving from slow to medium to fast.
Yeah, almost all the acceleration from the beginning. Finland moving up, it looks like. We can see the coach there. He's adjusting the attempt. We can see more coaches. Oh, we've got 3 coaches now have all moved. This is kind of what we expected, obviously. A lot of attempts right at that low 90 mark, 91. We're going to see who actually comes out for 91.
Yeah, we saw so many athletes snatch 90 that those automatic increases are now finally being moved, which I think is going to reveal Jess Gordon-Brown as the next athlete to come out, which makes sense.
You know, on one side, she missed that first, but she's got to have some confidence knowing she can make it. You know, she was basically as close as you can get.
Yeah. She said that she made some changes to her diet this year, and that's allowed her to increase her training capacity. So she's added a session per week now. And she said she's been taking her recovery more seriously, so that's why everything feels so good.
Just a little forward, unfortunate.
Yeah, she's clearly capable of not just making that, but making significantly more in the near future. There are a fair few more sort of qualifying events for Paris coming up. We've got Cuba in June. That would be her next opportunity to try and qualify. After that, we've got the World Championships in September. We've got more Continentals, more World Cup events coming up. So it's not like this is going to determine anything for her Olympic dreams.
So on Shatova's last attempt at this weight, it did not look like the bar is high enough. We'll see if that was just a technical error or if this is too heavy. Wow. Yeah, similar looking. She was in a better position. She definitely had a better structure in upper back there, but yeah, it looked like it was just a little bit too much.
But like you said, on that second attempt, we saw it again there. The only way for her to get that deep was to actually round her back. Upper and lower have to sort of flex a little bit in that lower position just to try and get under it. So 4 athletes still yet to come out. Of course, Nina Sturks, we haven't yet seen, from Belgium. Nadia Shpilka from Ukraine. Lucrezia Magistris from Italy. And then probably the front runner, the person who's most likely to win this, Kamila Konotop from Ukraine. Kamila did compete at the World Championships this year, actually, Max, didn't she? But she lifted less than we expected, but still put up a total of 223 kilos that I don't imagine anyone else is going to touch today.
Yeah.
She's just going to look to move even further ahead. .234 is the best total we've seen in this category during the qualifying period. That was Jenny Alvarez at this World Championships last December.
She was a little bit forward in the last snatch. She rolled the bar back a tiny bit. Yeah, didn't really look like she had the speed for that one.
No, it looked a little slow.
Bar came off the ground a little bit slow and never really got a good acceleration there towards the hip.
You can see it's high enough. You know, she actually locks out a couple of inches above her lowest position. But as you said, the bar's just a couple of inches further forward than it needs to be, so it doesn't matter how high she locks it out. She just rides it down and it's not there. Garance will come out now at 92 kilos. 2 kilo jump. Very sensible. We've seen a lot of athletes have great success with 2 kilo jumps. We even saw a 1 kilo jump from a successful second attempt to a, as it turned out, unsuccessful third attempt. But had she been able to take a half kilo jump, she may well have done. I think she recognized her capacity was on that second attempt.
So far, no one has exceeded the 90 kilo mark.
Oh, yeah.
We've had one, the first place is still 90.
We've had 5 attempts at over 90. It started off so well, we've had no missed openers.
You know, sometimes we see this where the initial lifts are heavy and a lot of successes, but then as it progresses, the competition starts to really reveal people's condition.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Sarah. Third attempt. She told us that in training she snatched 94 kilos recently. That's the most she's made. 118 in the clean and jerk as well. So this is pretty close to her maximal snatch.
We've got to see a little more aggressiveness on the speed under.
Well, she was more aggressive on the speed under.
Just a bit mistimed. She was a little forward. Yeah, you can see
she turned it on a lot more on that attempt than she did on the second. A lot more energy to it.
Yeah, just didn't quite get it there. So
yeah, the bar comes back in so nicely after the knee, but then it goes out just far too much after the contact. Will Nina be coming out now at 93 kilos? Yep.
Yep, she's walking up the stage.
So Nina's been in the training hall a few times since we've been here. She trains on her own in the corner. She very much keeps to herself. And this, of course, her first time since back in 2020 competing as a 59 kilo lifter. She always has a great facial expression if she makes a lift.
Oh, nice lift. Yeah, very solid.
Look at that.
Yeah, you can see just the difference in power and speed there between Nina and the previous lifts.
Yeah.
She's just got a little bit more, I'd say, zip.
Yeah.
all around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she told us that she snatched 96 kilos in training recently, clean and jerk 115. I imagine she'll go a little bit over those numbers today.
Seems to be in a pretty good mood.
Yeah, Spilka comes out now. Also at 93. Another heavy opener though, just 2 kilos under her best.
Wow, very strong.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, a lot of power there. Pretty good position too, 93. She's got a few more attempts, and the way that moved, she's definitely going to be fighting for a medal in the snatch for sure.
Yeah, that's great. 2 athletes still yet to open. We probably won't see them for a few more lifts. Lucrezia Magistris and Camilla Konotop. Garance will come out. Second attempt now. 3 kilo jump from her opener.
Beautiful pull, yeah. That was a great lift.
Yeah.
Looked even a little bit stronger than the first. So now we have 3 athletes all at 93. Still 2 to open. Spilka's put in a 98 second attempt. It's a 5-kilogram jump.
I mean, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see her take that. It's certainly aggressive, but she has the strength. Maria Kadara, Greece, here at 93, her second attempt.
She was very solid on her opener.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of lifters here all taking the same weights. Obviously, we know that the rule is who does it first gets the points, but yeah, just a bit off there. We'll see. I would wonder if she would take a 94, possibly give herself a chance to bump ahead of everyone else at 93.
Yeah.
Even if she's successful with 93, she wouldn't really move up at all in the ranking because we've got 3 lifters already done that.
But with so many attempts remaining,
yeah,
it may well move into the lead for now, but it's probably
likely,
unlikely she'll remain in a medal position. So at this point, I wonder if she'll just focus on building a better total.
So 2-minute clock. Kardar probably going to take this 93. Bumping wouldn't give her any more time. Nope. I was wrong.
Yeah, she's going to go up.
She's making the move.
So,
but we'll see.
She'll go up.
She's definitely going to move up. She'll just wait till her name's called and then.
So it's going to go back to Maria.
Take that clock. You know, it's important as a coach to give your athletes the best possible chance to make their abilities, to make their lifts count for as much as they can. Her taking 94, she's successful here. She puts herself in the best position she could, assuming the competition maybe doesn't go as well for those above her. You know, even though that 94 is most likely not going to get her on the podium, it does give her the best chance, obviously.
Yeah. So this would be 6 kilos up on anything she'd hit prior to this competition.
Just overcorrected there.
Yeah.
That's got to be frustrating.
She hits the bar so close throughout that pull. It's really impressive.
Yeah, really too bad.
It's actually very nice technique, even though she missed 2 attempts.
Yeah.
She's really maximizing the strength that she has. Okay, Lucrezia Magistris now coming out. The Italian's top 59. Phenomenal lifter. We've seen her snatch as much as 100 kilos in training before. In competition, 98 is her best. I believe she bombed out the World Championships. Although that was in the clean and jerk. She made 1 snatch at 98 and then missed all of her clean and jerks at 115 and 16. So she does need a total. She's strong enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
She has the power. She just
hopped back.
Yep. Moved away from the bar there at the end of the pole. Didn't quite finish as well as she could have.
It's always a little bit exciting with the Italians. They never put on an easy to watch show. I mean, even yesterday we commented about how Sergio Mesida at least made his opener in the snatch, but then he went on to miss his opening clean and jerk, jump 8 kilos, go for the win and somehow make it, and then Shotomich Velidze came and, you know, did his thing. But the Italians will keep you on your toes. Yeah,
it's definitely entertaining. Well, we see them moving up again. Or is he declaring the 95? No, Magistris changing.
We had a couple of Italians in the training hall today. In fact, 3 or 4. Sergio Mesida was back in there. 5 triples in a snatch at 110. So despite taking the silver medal last night, he he's straight back to training.
Yeah. Well, he needs to improve that. He only made the one.
Antonina Pizzolato snatched 160 kilos again. Made it look a little bit better than he did a few days ago. In fact, I think Cristiano Fico might have snatched 165 kilos in the training hall. Here's Garance coming out, third attempt. She's done very well so far, just a 2 kilo jump here.
Yeah, her first two are really strong. Just a hair early.
Yeah, but she will walk away with huge personal best. 89 was her best before this. She walked away with 93 kilos.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of improvement.
Yeah. And here comes Nina Sturks for 96 kilos. This is going to equal her best in training this year. And it's actually going to be a 1 kilo personal best in competition. Of course, she made 95 kilos. I believe she was a 55 kilo lifter when she did that one. But more than any athlete, Max, she has moved around the weight categories in sort of a very interesting fashion.
Yeah, well, yo-yo fashion, right?
Yeah.
Up and down.
10 kilos separate how much she weighs now from how much she weighed in December.
That kind of body weight gain has got to make training just so much more productive, so.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, didn't quite have it there. She's getting a little behind the bar, maybe just a bit rushed.
Yeah, and that position where she sort of catches it locked out with her head behind the bar,
yeah,
she does get away with that a lot of the time. She makes many third attempts, head still behind the bar, and then she pushes it through. So that miss there wasn't necessarily anything we haven't seen from her before. Lucrezia now. As we've mentioned before, Max, the Italian...
the wrong lifter here. Spilka is on the board at 96.
Yeah, the Italian plan does very much seem to be just go for the top 8 rather than competing in the competition you're in. Just try to get a world ranking in the top 8.
Yeah.
So that you can go to the Olympics. That's the ultimate goal. And so they just take heavy attempts. So not the 5 kilo jump that we thought Nadia was going to make, just 3 kilos. She's dropped back down.
Her opening lift was very strong. A lot of speed. The pull was powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, good
That's
fight.
great.
Good fight.
Yeah, she had to work for that one. It wasn't over when she caught it. There was a lot to do still to balance that.
Jury stop. We're getting the jury stop. There was one red from the
there
center
was a wobble.
ref. Yeah.
But from our side angle, we just can't see the elbow. So that's not the angle it's going to show us.
I'm going to guess it potentially was that her right arm might have buckled. The jury is still deliberating here over the call. Oftentimes we get the jury stop. We definitely don't like it because usually it ends in... Yeah,
it slows it down and turns over good lift. So, yeah, that's going to be a no lift, unfortunately, for Nadia Spilka. But both she and Nina will have an opportunity, and so will Lucrezia, to take 96 kilos. And really, right now, these 3 athletes are battling out for silver and bronze.
Yeah.
And then we'll see Camilla Konotop come out and take that gold medal, I expect.
Well, first place right now is 93.
Yeah. And then 3 athletes on 96. You have to imagine that not all 3 of them will make this, considering that they've all missed it. Yeah. So if you make it, you're probably going to get a medal here.
Nope, a change. This is bringing out Nina Sturks.
The wrong athlete.
Yeah.
Lucrezia's walking out.
Yeah, this is incorrect. Lucrezia is not the lifter.
The coaches don't know. They do now. They're trying to pull her off.
A jury stop. I wonder what's going on here.
Stop.
Yeah, tech stop.
There's Nina Sturks is the name on the board.
Potentially an issue with the technical controller there. Didn't.
It should be Lucrezia for her second attempt.
Yeah. Lucrezia is the lifter here at 96. It's her second attempt.
You know,
the other 96s would be a thirds.
She told us that in training she snatched 110 kilos. Yeah. I mean, and she clean and jerked 117. The only thing that's either she did do that, or she mistyped 100 and wrote 110, because that was via message.
Yeah. Okay.
But she did tell us that it was 110 kilos. So I don't know. I mean,
it's only 14 kilos more than this.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's a shame. I would have to believe that was a typo.
Yes, the 110, I think it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that generally in 2022 the training was extremely intense. She said that the whole Italian team trained hard all year, and she felt like she did a good job in terms of her technical improvement. But yeah, then she said that since the beginning of 2023 in the gym, she's done 110 snatch, 117 clean and jerk. So I think probably that was a mistype rather than anything else. But maybe she did 110 kilos off the blocks or something.
Right, yeah.
It's possible we see athletes lifting considerably more.
Yeah, and sometimes athletes don't really differentiate the exercises. They're just, it's a snatch.
Snatch balance, they count that sometimes.
I squatted 230, so that's, might as well call that a snatch.
Might as well have cleaned it, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see Team GB sat there in the corner at the back, just resting.
Okay, so Spilka made 96, was overturned by the jury. She's going to repeat it here.
Yeah.
Smart move, because this would probably get her a medal. Well,
that's what we've been saying. Yeah. Probably whoever makes their final attempt between Spilka, Sturks, and Magistris is probably going to guarantee a medal.
Yeah. And between Magistris, Sturks, and Spilka, Spilka's actually making the
she's
best
at least
lifts.
standing up.
Yeah. Also puts a lot of pressure on the other two girls. All she's got to do is be a bit more aggressive.
She has so much more speed than the other athletes coming off the floor there. She'll be disappointed, but she could still walk away with a medal. If the other two both miss, she could end up with the bronze medal. 3 athletes have now snatched 93 kilos. She currently sits in silver. That will be moved to at least bronze after Camilla Konotop comes out. So we're bumping up to 90. Wow, Lucrezia just bumped to 98 after a miss at 95 at 96.
I had a fear that was going to happen. I had a fear that there's this concern from the athletes or coaching staff that certain numbers need to be done.
Yeah.
And the whole time here, Camilla Konotop has been waiting and watching this kind of soap opera unfold here, knowing that her 100 opener is probably going to be the thing that seals the deal.
And we've said it before, how this new qualifying procedure for the Olympics has changed the way the sport is played out throughout the rest of the competitions. These athletes, you can tell with the Italians, Lucrezia here, Nina coming up, but Lucrezia in her previous attempts, she's not necessarily even competing in this session. She's competing against all of the sessions that the 59s have done around the world to try and get in the top 8 for the Olympics. And so she just takes these big lifts, and if she doesn't make them, she packs her bag, she goes to the next competition, she'll just try again.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a huge lift now for Nina Sturks.
Yeah, 97
if she makes
kilos.
This, we're going to know about it.
Taking your time.
Oh, yeah.
Closer than the last, but just not there. She's still the first lifter to have done 93, so she's actually, assuming that Madristra.
She will get a medal, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to get a medal for sure. It's just a matter now of whether or not Magistris is successful with this 98.
Yeah, Nina's either getting a silver or a bronze.
Yeah.
Spilka's either getting a bronze or nothing. Camilla Konotop presumably is going to get the gold, and then Lucrezia is, well, it's silver or bust.
Yeah.
She either makes this and gets a medal, or she's out of the running at least.
3 attempts, each one an increase. This is a very big attempt for her, 98 kilos on the third.
Oh, that one was the closest of all 3.
Such a painful miss there.
You know what?
Was right there.
I bet she's going to go to Cuba and try it again in June. She's going to do this again.
Yeah. Each attempt heavier than the last, and she was unsuccessful with them. It's a shame to see. So Konotop now with 100. Presumably this should be basically locks her in.
And what's amazing about Camilla Konotop is that she basically powers her snatches. She, I mean, it's not, she doesn't actually power them, but she has just limited, I guess, range of motion.
Yeah, she's just got ample strength.
She's definitely built to snatch far more so than she is to clean, though she's not too bad in the clean and jerk either, but this is certainly where she excels.
100 kilos. Her opener. 7 kilograms above everybody else in the session.
That one might have actually been a power, or at least she caught it above parallel, didn't she, before she came back up with it?
Absolutely.
That was clinical.
Incredible. Yeah.
And very similar to a few of the other Ukrainians who walk up and go. They don't really sit and wait. Wow.
So strong. You know, she's in a great position now because that 100 separates her so far. 7 kilo lead from second place. She can basically do whatever she wants here to try and move her ranking up. She is kind of on the border.
Senior European record's 103 kilos, so we're going to see that fall today. Of course, the world record is a 110 kilos by Kwosum Chun. That was done in 2021 at the Asian Championships, just prior to the Olympic Games. To be honest, she looks strong enough to attempt it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying she will, but also when's she going to get an opportunity to do it that's better than this? She's already got such a huge safety net by being so far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
She could actually go for 106 on her second attempt and then 111 if she wanted to. Probably won't happen, but you never know.
I mean, the way that 100 looked is possible. I think we're going to see at least a 104 here.
Yeah, 104 to take the senior record. The junior record is also 103 kilos. That's from a name some of you may remember, Rebecca Kohar, the Latvian athlete back in 2018 at the World Championships. She made 103, and then also counted as the senior record. So this will be to move ahead.
She's going for the record, so.
Yep. This will be a senior European record, 104 kilos.
That opening snatch was just so strong.
The biggest lead we've seen so far in the snatch is 9 kilos.
Yes.
Yesterday we even saw a 6 kilo lead. The day before was a 9. We're about to see an 11 kilo lead by one athlete. Now, occasionally you expect to see a 10 kilo lead, you know, in the heavier weight categories. Maybe Lasha could pull that off against a few people, but down in these lighter categories, to be this far ahead is remarkable.
Wow, with ease.
With ease.
Well, the question now, does she just push that record up
I think she
a
pushes
bit to 106, 107? I can't see that big of a jump. A 7-kilo jump is just
it looked
too
good,
much.
that 104, but it looked different to that 100 opener. It didn't look anywhere near quite as nice. It looked like, a further 7 kilos, probably a bit too much. There's a teammate watching on, Spilka, who is going to take the bronze medal. Ukraine's going to get gold and bronze here in the snatch.
Well, the question too is, does she make a large increase or just a small increase? You know, pushing that record up a little bit high might not be beneficial. She could do another one at her next meet.
Yeah, the winning snatch at the World Championships last year, I'm talking sort of last December, was 103 kilos. We saw both Maud Charon from Canada and then also Luo Xiaomin from China made 103. Kuo Seung-chun snatched 102, as did Camila Konotop. Yanni Alvarez snatched 101. So the top 6, lifters in the world right now are snatching 100 or more. But as it stands, none of them are snatching as much as Konotop.
They've got 105 on the board. I wouldn't even be that surprised if she takes just this.
Oh, there's a change to 106.
Spoke too soon.
Yeah. And again, this will further her European senior record by a further 2 kilos if successful. This is massive. This is absolutely huge. The only, of course, Kuo Seung-chun's beaten this. There was a North Korean athlete in 2019 who I wonder also snatched 106, but was it 107? I'm going to take a look at that, because this is either the second best performance from a 59 or it's the third. So Cho Sim, snatched 107. So this will be the third highest snatch by a 59 ever.
Wow. Great lift.
Oh my word, what a stunning lift. That is a huge lead, 13 kilos over Nina Sturks, 13 kilos over Nadia, her teammate. What a way to end this women's 59 kilo session with 2 European senior records. Started off at 103, then she made 104 to move ahead. Wiped Rebecca Kohar from the senior books. Kohar still has that junior European record. And then furthering it by another 2 kilos. So the bronze medal is going to go to Nadia Spilka with 93 kilos. The silver medal to Nina Sturks, also with 93 kilos. And then the gold medal, of course, to Camila Konotop with 106. But interestingly, fourth place also has 93 kilos, and that's Garance Rougeau. So Garance, Nina, and Nadia all at 93 kilos.
Yeah, that is
it's going to be a very exciting battle, isn't it, for that silver and bronze? Because they've both put in, the 3 of them have put in openers within 3 kilos of each other. Garance at 108, Nina at 110, and Nadia at 111. And Camilla's put in 120. So
yeah, and potentially we could see some moving around here. I mean, we don't know. This could be a very, very tight race here. I mean, there's so few kilos separating these girls.
Yeah,
a lot of misses in that session, though. By far the worst we've seen so far. The most misses of any session.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, only 3 successful third attempts. Only 2 successful second attempts. So after openers, we had 5 successful lifts.
Yeah.
Out of 22.
Wow.
That's not a great stat, is it?
Everyone is pushing so hard here.
Yeah, that's not one we're going to share around too much. The winning total in the B group was 191 kilos. That was an 87 kilo snatch and a 104 clean and jerk. I imagine all will, unless there are further bomb outs after Lucrezia, I imagine all the athletes will move ahead of that.
Yeah. Yeah, so a very tight battle here in the 59 women's session.
So Camilla Konotop told us that her best snatch in training this year is 105 kilos. So that was actually the most that she's snatched. That 104 that we just saw on our screen there, just a kilo under, that was her first of 2 records. Then she said that she's clean and jerked 125 kilos. And then, understandably, she said preparation has been difficult because of martial law. So it's not been an easy, well, it's not been an easy year or so for her training, but she's still somehow continuing to improve despite everything and all the distractions back home. So for her to come out and make 106 is really remarkable.
Yeah, she is a tough competitor and just a phenomenal lifter.
Yeah.
Those lifts are powerful, they're strong, very confident. She doesn't take much time, just walks up and does what she needs to.
Garance is looking great as well. To be in, it's fourth, but to be equaling the same snatch as the silver medalist with 93 kilos, considering her best before this was 89, is really impressive. Her best total ever was 200 kilos. She did that at the European Under-23 Championships last year. She snatched 90, clean jerked 110. So, in fact, we had written down that she's done 89. Oh, the Under-23s often don't show up actually as official IWF results for some reason, but 90 was her best. So she's doing very well to get into such a high positioning here.
You know, the one thing we have to be the one thing that we may end up seeing is another event like we just saw in the snatch, where now that everyone is down in the snatch, it becomes so much more critical in the clean and jerk, and we might see people really taking big attempts.
Yeah.
You know, potentially that can be a risky strategy.
There's Nina now. She suffered a bit of a back injury, she told us, 2.5 months ago. She said she wasn't really even able to train for about a month. So she's been focusing on letting her body recover. So she might not put up her best total here today. She has plenty of other opportunities to put up a big total. She's one of those lifters where you have to imagine that she's going to be getting in the top 8 in the world, or certainly close to. I think the difficult thing is that there are a few lifters here who are capable of getting to the top 8 in the world and getting a Olympic slot, but one of them is going to end up probably getting the continental slot.
Yeah.
One of them is not. They're not going to be able to make it. Such a strong category in Asia and now even in the Pan American region. It's very strong.
Yeah, the 59 class has really blossomed into a very, very competitive session. Obviously, Ko Sing Chun has dominated, but even at Worlds we saw she was not in great shape.
No, she didn't win. She had an opportunity to earn her 6th World Championships, but wasn't able to make it.
No.
So it looks like 95 kilos by Sabine, just in the back there. And then 35 kilos closer. That's Garance. Just over 4 minutes now until we're back underway. Looks like the opening attempt is going to be from Irene Martinez at 103 kilos. She opened things up as well in the snatch. But yeah, this battle for silver and bronze is going to be extremely tight. I think we're going to see something similar probably in the women's 71s. We spoke with Sergei Putsov, who is eagerly watching this session. Of course, he has 2 athletes here from Ukraine, but he was saying that in the 71s, you think it will probably be a pretty easy win potentially for Loredana, but then the battle for silver and bronze is going to be extremely tight.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that here now. Sometimes having a runaway winner doesn't necessarily make the competition any less exciting.
Yeah, well, you can tell, right? We have so many people so close to those 2nd and 3rd spots. Everybody puts the absolute best they can there. Someone runs away with it, it's really no one's going to try and chase that. But then as soon as you see 5 people basically within a few kilos, it just becomes, you know, a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Yeah. Jess Gordon-Brown there at 75. She used to be a, I believe, international level. She could competed in judo, and I think prior to that, maybe even gymnastics. So she's been sort of a serial elite level athlete. There's Lucrezia. Will she continue on? It's an odd one, really, because the Italian plan clearly is to just open very heavy in an attempt to hit the biggest total you can to qualify for the Olympics. And yet, despite then missing the snatch, it looks like she might say, well, I'll just keep going with the clean and jerk, which kind of goes against that initial ethos.
Yeah, well, there's potentially a medal there for her.
Yeah.
You know, so certainly something to not forget.
Yeah, it's possible. She missed 115 kilos at the World Championships and wasn't able to make any clean and jerks there.
Yeah, she might want a redemption.
As far as I know, she's missed at least, or she's made only one of her last 9 lifts on an international stage, which isn't great. So this is probably the last backroom attempt for Irene Martinez before she comes out. 103 kilos, which is actually what she's put in for her opener.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, athletes like to equal their openers in the back room.
My guess is she's probably going to bump that opener up from 103.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, that was pretty easy.
Yeah, we might see Sabine Kustera from Germany, who we just saw make 95 kilos. Looks like she hasn't gone up since at 95, so it might be more likely that she's the one to open things up for us. That's an interesting position. Oh, almost looked like she was going to do a bit of a sumo clean there.
Yeah, we
Arms
saw
are
that at
inside the legs.
the Commonwealth Games.
We did, yeah.
A bizarre technique.
Yeah, South African athlete pulling in a sumo position. I think that was that 98 or was that 103? I'm not sure, but it was one of the two. An ample space in the back room there for all of these athletes, and well, in particular for the coaches to move around and make calls. How much, Max, do you think these coaches are watching other athletes and trying to work out what sort of shape they're in?
Well, you know, the closer the battle is, the more I would assume that obviously you're going to look around and see your nearest competitor. As a coach, you want to look at how their warm-ups are going, get an idea. You can tell what's happening. You know, a lot of times you look and you see a coach and athlete interacting, and if it looks hectic or a bit concerned or there's some frustration, you might make some adjustments to your own strategy. Maybe you don't push as hard, let them miss and get your placing up because of that. The other opposite can be true too. You might look and see that, okay, clearly, you know, that was a 103 last warm-up and it looked pretty light. I don't think she's going to take that as an opener. Make some adjustments. I don't think you can help it as a coach. You're back there and you're just constantly looking around and trying to figure out what's going to happen. There's only so many variables and you really can't control everything.
So how would it be frowned upon or totally normal to walk up to the platform of another team and just watch, obviously watch an athlete take a lift just to see what shape they're in and then walk back to your platform? Or is it sort of you do it from your own platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, more so than walking right up to another athlete and watching.
In that sense, you know, in some environments where the back room is very small, you might be able to get away with that. You know, you stop and.
But I mean, you're allowed to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's
it's just frowned upon.
I think it's a little bit, you know.
It's a bit cheeky. But also is using the resources available to you.
You know, it's a move that would probably be considered a little bit poor manners.
Because I've seen it done in the training hall. I've seen George Asanidze walk up and squat within a meter of, say, Miso Osona, taking a 210 kilo clean and jerk and just stare, just to watch everything about the shape that he's in.
Yeah.
And then go back and talk to his 96.
Maybe that's a strategy.
Yeah, and everyone loves Georgie.
Yeah, everyone loves him, and that's how he gets away with it.
Yeah. 105 kilo will be the opening attempt for Irene. She made 103 kilos in the back room a couple of minutes ago.
Strong clean. Gets a little bit of a forward recovery there. Good jerk, but she did kind of throw the back leg back a little bit far and maybe pulled her hips out from under the bar a little bit much. It's very strong, but you have to correct some of that with more weight.
So, Max, who is the top 59 in the USA right now?
Well, we've got Taylor Wilkins.
Yeah, okay.
And Daniel Gunnan. Daniel Gunnan actually just surpassed Taylor Wilkins.
And they're right around that sort of 100 kilo, then low 120s range?
Yeah, 100 kilos, high teens, low 20s.
Here's Shatova, 105 kilos.
Good clean, but it kind of buried her there.
Wow, what a jerk. Yeah. Great positioning with the lower body.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty heavy in the clean. Her best is 111, which she made as a 64, so that body weight loss is not hurt her too much to be able to make that 105 so well. Yeah, great jerk.
Walks away from it as though it's a pretty intense battle. She looks a little bit tired there.
Kustera now coming out. She's looking pretty confident. She made 90 kilos in the snatch on her third attempt.
Best clean and jerk's 119, but that was a 76. So she's familiar with these weights. Smooth pull, good recovery. Oh, yeah, drove it back. Looks like maybe problem with her foot there. She looked down.
She really took her time in between the clean and the jerk.
I noticed that as well. You know, you can watch an athlete's face. You can almost feel what's going on. When an athlete stands there for a long time, if it's uncharacteristic, you know, it starts to give you a little bit of a bad feeling as to what they're thinking, what's going to happen.
And everyone who's competed in weightlifting has experienced that, either in training or in competition, that feeling of standing there and just feeling lightheaded and having to wait a little bit longer than normal.
Well, looks like the athlete's going to change now.
So is she?
I'm guessing
she must have bumped up.
Yeah.
And Jess Gordon-Brown will now come out at 107 kilos. Her best is 111. She told us she made 112 in training recently.
I think she's going to move up as well. We see her bump to 108. We've got 5 athletes with 108 on the board, 2 at 107. We'll see if they stay there. Yeah, Martinez moved as well, 108. So Sabine stays the lifter here after all of that rigmarole.
Yeah.
Probably still got the equivalent of a 2-minute clock, though.
Yeah, so probably so.
Kind of worked out in her favor.
Big smile as she walks on. I don't think I've ever seen an athlete start in this position where their arms are inside their knees and then switch it up. Now that looked like that might have been from not enough rest.
Possibly, yeah.
It was a bit forward, but there was definitely a good amount.
You know what she's
She's
doing here.
play the game, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stand on the platform so that the clock doesn't start, so they can't change the weights, get a little bit more rest, a few extra seconds.
Yeah.
She started walking off, then she realized what she could do, and she looked over at her coach's cheekily and said, I'll just wait here for a few seconds.
Yeah. Well, she's got a 2-minute clock. It's not going to be stolen. No one else is here at 107, so she's going to have to take this.
She could go up to 108.
She could go to 108, but missing a clean forward like that and then taking an increase.
But there's
risky.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other athletes with 108 written in. Surely one of them or two of them will take that.
Yeah.
And buy her, 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes rest.
Yeah, if she needs the rest, that 108's a smart call. Well, they've run down past 130.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a change has gone in.
See what's going to happen here. We also don't know who intends on taking 108. She does have 90 on the board in the snatch, so yep. We've got...
She's coming out.
Some... Now she's going to do it.
This is a pretty big lift.
Yeah, this is tough. It's a tough position to be in.
Oh, yeah.
That first one looked okay, maybe a little bit tough. The second one obviously looked quite a bit harder.
She looks to be in a good headspace, though, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's got a big smile again as she walks on the platform.
Yeah. Calming down.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Focus on what she needs to do.
That's a better pull.
Much better clean.
There we go.
Yep.
Brilliant. What a way to come back. She's going to... Now,
nope.
The bar was moving when she lowered it. She got the down signal, but you are supposed to lower it under control. I imagine they're not going to...
Yeah, I don't think
we've seen the jury get involved in that already at this competition and turn down lifts that look pretty good, even after the down signal was given.
Yeah.
But no, she's totally fine with that. What a way to come back. She pulled it so much better, so she's able to catch the bounce in the middle of her foot rather than being forward like she was in that second attempt. And it almost looks like she turns to look at the coaches to apologize. Jess Gordon-Brown comes out. We can see the rest of Team GB in the stands opposite us watching on.
111's her best. This is a heavy opener, just 3 kilos off that. Solid pull, though. She's got that fingertip grip there on the jerk. Oh, strong. She's very strong.
That's a great jerk. Yeah,
quick. We don't quite hear that footwork where she slaps the foot on the front of the platform.
Well, she joined weightlifting a lot later than most of the athletes here. She did it as part of her strength and conditioning for judo, and she enjoyed it and got into it.
I've seen and coached a few former judo athletes in weightlifting, and they have a unique ability to manipulate an object and throw it. Obviously, in judo, the object wants to throw you back, but it's always interesting to see athletes cross over, come from somewhere else, and see some unique skills come back, and how they can apply it, especially in gymnastics, overhead strength and the lockout.
108 kilo opener now for Maria Kardara from Greece. 5 kilos more than we've seen from her before.
Good pull, good clean.
Technically very nice. Wow,
nice
such
jerk.
a short dip and drive, but uses the whip of the bar nicely, great lockout.
Yeah, got into a great split position there.
Yeah, Max, interestingly noted during Jess's opening attempt that she was right in the fingertips on the jerk, which I think the reason you said it was because normally when you see an athlete drop their elbows as low as she does, they tend to then go into a full grip. Just drive the bar more with the upper body. The fingertips tend to be when the athlete has the elbows a little bit higher, but she mixes it up there, drops the elbows, but stays in the fingertips.
Yeah, you don't actually see the fingertip grip very often, it seems like. I can think of maybe 1 or 2 lifters in a long time that did that.
Second attempt now for Irene. She made 105 on her opener. This will bump her into second.
Better clean than the first. Yeah, you could see almost the same thing as the first jerk.
Yeah.
The back leg came pretty far back and the hips just weren't under the bar.
Right.
Bar slightly in front of her shoulders. It's so hard to recover or save that. We've seen lifters do it. We've seen some lifters drive that bar forward quite a bit.
Famously, Emily Campbell at the World Championships.
Yeah.
Set her hips way back behind the bar on that final attempt for the silver medal. And somehow, you know, it comes down to that extra strength that she has. She was able to bend her legs a little bit more and sort of get herself back under the bar.
Dare I say, exceptional presence of mind.
Fantastic.
A Gormanazian as well. Drove the bar a little forward.
Yeah,
Much shorter arms, though.
Yes.
It's not really that far above his head.
Well, we were talking earlier about when we saw Gormanazian doing push presses at the Asian Championships training hall with, was it 150, 170 kilos, and just no ability to balance with that weight overhead.
Well, 70 kilos looked worse than the 180.
Yeah. 100 kilos less than he jerks out of the rack, and he couldn't stand still with the weight overhead. And he kept staring at us, I remember, particularly me.
Yeah, he's a unique individual.
He is. He hang snatched 200 kilos today.
Yeah, I've not seen that before.
No, I've never seen a 200 kilo hang snatch in person. Okay, here's Irene. Third attempt. She's going to have to keep her hips directly under her shoulders in the catch of this jerk if she's going to want to save it.
Well, good clean again.
Very strong.
Can she keep the hips under the bar? You could see that her chest collapsed there right at the bottom of the dip. It's unfortunate. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's tough as an athlete. If that back knee sort of refuses to bend in the catch of the split, you can get the bar high enough, but you just can't, you know, if the torso's at the wrong angle because the hips shoot back.
Yeah. It's super frustrating when that bar is just not in the right spot because probably feels like she has the power for it, but she just can't fix it overhead.
Garance will come out, I think, now for her opening attempt. She is certainly one of those athletes in the battle for a medal in the total. But there's been a bit of change going on in the back room with these openers because Nina Sturks, she's remaining at 110 for her opener, but Ukrainian Shpilka has bumped up to 115. Garance has moved up to 110 from 108. All of a sudden, Sara from Finland is also going in for 111, which is a big opener. Quite a few athletes capable of medaling behind Konotop.
Yeah, and this is really where it's going to start to flesh out, this 110 plus mark. Good clean. Pretty solid jerk. She does a good job taking time to recover there. Doesn't rush out of the split.
Yeah.
That's a comfortable opener for her. 110.
So Nina Sturks, will she come out for this and sort of set the standard for those front runners?
Well, you know, she's in second in the snatch.
Yeah, and actually, even though Garance was in fourth, if she hits 110, it's only going to equal the total of Garance, so she'll probably go to 111. In fact, she's just bumped up to 113.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is that question we had earlier, is what's going to happen here as far as all these attempts in the clean and jerk? Are people going to get a little bit too greedy or a little too concerned and maybe take more than they should?
It seemed to happen in the snatch, didn't it?
Yeah. So Shitova's first was a little bit tough on the clean. She caught it super deep. Up.
Okay.
She still has time on the clock.
Yeah, she's gonna get her head back into it.
16 seconds.
She actually won the Youth European Championships back in 2018.
No.
Yeah, at that time you're not allowed to retake.
Yep.
Once that bar passes the knee, that's officially the start of the attempt.
Yeah, she's going to be pretty dejected from that.
Yeah, I don't know if she's going to be able to go back out and make that.
I'm not sure if that was a fear that stopped her from going under. The first attempt looked pretty tough, but there was probably more in the tank there. Or if it's an injury, possibly just something doesn't feel right. I'm wondering if Jessica Gordon-Brown's going to move above 110. Her best is 111. I could see her taking that 111.
Yeah, she's bumped up to 111.
Yeah.
She's stolen the clock.
I wonder if Shatova's even going to come out for this third.
Also, Max, worth us mentioning, as we were sort of wondering during the halfway point, Lucrezia Magistris has withdrawn. So after bombing out in the snatch, she's decided, look, there's no point to this. I'm only here for the total. I'm only here to get a top 8 world ranking.
Yeah.
So Shatova, final attempt. She didn't have it in her to get herself under the weight on her last lift. That was very impressive that she was able to go for that.
Pushed herself mentally to actually go under the bar. That's very hard to do.
Yeah.
Can be a bit dangerous sometimes too. Obviously she's fine, but she's only going to get credit for that opener.
Yeah, rounded back in the catch, and that just buckles too much.
Yeah, we saw the same thing on her snatch as well. She just seemingly is not in shape here.
Okay, here comes Sarah Metalainen. She snatched 89, here's 111. This will move her into a 200 kilo total. Move her into the silver medal, or the second position right now. She is one of 4 athletes to open.
Oh, good clean.
Yeah.
Pretty solid jerk, too.
Yeah, that's a good opener.
Not the fastest footwork, but she's comfortable under the bar.
Yeah, very nice opening attempt there for Sarah. And really, I mean, she's going to be looking to do everything she can to get ahead of Maria and then also Garance, but I think Garance is the athlete who's in the trickiest position because she's the one who's, I would imagine, going to end up in 4th and might be able to bump into bronze if she can nudge ahead of either Nina Sturks or Nadia Spilka, but it seems unlikely. Here's Jess Gordon-Brown, second attempt, 111.
This ties her best internationally at 111.
She really is strong in that pull. Wow.
Oh, nice jerk. She's happy with that.
Yeah, very happy.
Got to feel really good.
Oh, yeah.
She's working her way up here, too. She does only have 88 in the snatch, but we'll see what she can do in the clean and jerk. It's probably a bit out of the range, obviously, for a podium, but
yeah, I'd have thought so.
Sitting in a good spot with a 199 total.
She took the silver medal at the Commonwealth Games. Incredible moment. She totaled 197 kilos there, so she's already ahead of that. In fact, this is her. She's already got her best ever total. She's never totaled 200. She's on 199. She's never done this, so she's doing very well. Maria Cardara now. Second attempt, 111.
This will put her at 201.
Yep, this will move her into second.
A little bit tougher recovery there. She stepped back at the top. Yeah, looked a bit heavy there. I don't think that jerk was there. So she's going to be left here at 111.
It's actually tricky because Garance is going to bump up now because her 111 is just the automatic increase.
Yeah.
There's no one else there. Even if she bumps to 112, the same thing's going to happen where Sarah's just going to bump up to 113. So there's not a lot she can do. Her safest bet is probably just to stick with it and take the full 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. She's she's going to get 1 minute here.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's rough. And that clean was tough. You know, you could see as she stood up, her hips start to move back. The knees came in a little bit. Didn't quite have the strength in the legs to really drive straight up out of the hole.
Now, would you ever, in this position, bump to 112, even though you know that Sarah's going to bump up, just to restart that minute countdown?
That's a tough one. I don't think it's a wise move.
Not worth it for for the extra weight gain. Oh no, she's done it.
Yeah, she's doing it. The extra rest is probably not going to do much for the leg strength. But if she's tired, you know, there's really nothing else you can do. Well, she's basically immediately back.
Yeah.
They already moved before she could. They already changed before she could make the change.
She's actually not got a lot of. There's a jury stop.
No, the clock was not reset. Is the problem?
Yeah, it should have gone back up to 60.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough. She just sprinted out there. If there's anything weightlifters don't like doing, it's running.
Yes.
So. All right. So her clock has started. She's at 56 seconds.
Occasionally we see weightlifters running around the training hall for a little warm-up. The Iranians sometimes do it, but in general, you're definitely right there. Yeah. Okay, this is huge. She didn't really come close to having the height on the jerk on that second attempt.
She's got to get through the clean first.
Oh, that's a tough stand. Looks a little lightheaded.
Yeah, struggling to get herself. Ooh.
You know, I think we're particularly nervous at this point in the competition, given what's happened over the last couple of days. We've seen several athletes falling back, one of them hitting their heads and getting stretchered off.
Yeah, I've not seen that
when I saw her
before.
go there, when she still had the bar on her shoulders, I got very nervous. I really thought she was going to go down in a bad way.
You know, it can be very difficult when that bar is cutting off your airway because, you know, you don't maybe realize it's happening until it's too late. Yeah. And it's very difficult to move out of the way.
Okay, so here's Nina Sturks. She is one of 3 athletes that still come out. The top 3 athletes after the snatch. This will move her securely into the lead. And as we mentioned, Max, probably these athletes will need 210 if they want to get a medal. And I think we're going to prove that that's about right. It might even need a little bit more than 210. Might be looking at 215.
Wow. Strong clean.
116 is her best in training so far. That looks very comfortable.
Good jerk.
She got the down signal, stumbled a bit, reset, nodded her head. She knew she had it, and then let it go. That's a strong start. So Garance is in direct competition now with Nina. She had 113 written in, but she's just made the change to 114. She'll basically now take a kilo more than anything that Nina does for the next 2 attempts. So if Nina then takes 116, she'll go for 117.
Yeah, we see
she can to get ahead.
Already everybody's bumped to 114. It's a 5-way battle here.
Yeah.
Second and third. We assume Konotop's shape is just, you know, unmatched here. She's like 120 in as her opener, and she's got a massive 13-kilo lead. No one's catching her, but this 5-way battle here for second and third is going to be
very intense.
Pretty aggressive.
Yeah, Nadia Shpilka has just dropped from 115 to 114 because much like with Garance, they all snatched 93, so they all just need 1 kilo more than Nina.
Yeah. Well, her taking 14 first is also a smart move for the clean and jerk medals as well.
So Nadia points to her left elbow, just notifying the judges that she doesn't have full extension in that elbow. Very fast in the pull.
Powerful jerk, yeah.
That was comfortable.
So now we're in the mix. Everyone's on the board, with the exception of Konatop, but where do they all go? 207 is first, 206 is second, 203 is third, 200 is fourth,
Garance
199 is fifth.
Yeah, presumably take 114 as well, rather than 115.
Yeah, she doesn't need to think about that clean and jerk medal right now.
She's just thinking about moving ahead of Nina on this one.
Oh, Shpilka's put 120. She's just going to wait, I think. That's a placeholder.
Definitely. This is a 4 kilo best for Garance.
Strategic move here. Good clean.
Really nice. Wow, that didn't expect the jerk to look so difficult after such a strong clean.
Yeah, she set herself well too. You could see she braced well, was rigid, but it just looked like she didn't have the power.
France actually sent a pretty strong team this year. We've got Romain and Duchenne competing in the 89s or 96s, might be the 96s, a great snatcher. And then, of course, we have... So he's in the 96s, yeah. A strong team.
Yeah, we've got interesting development. We'll see what happens here. Everyone's going to move around. Sturck's definitely not going to take 114. Okay. So Jessica Gordon-Brown has asked for 114. This would be a 3 kilogram PR if she does come out for this.
And this will not
don't think it's
be
enough
for a position in the total. But there's a chance it could be for a medal in the clean jerk. It's very unlikely.
It would be a conservative play, and you'd really be waiting for everyone else to miss.
Yeah.
But based on the snatches, possibly smart.
Could this be a British record? Let me check.
$114. 3 kilogram personal record.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, grind to recover. Has that fingertip jerk.
She made 120 in training and out of the rack.
Oh,
it's close.
What a fight.
But not today.
Nope. Great effort, though.
Yeah, she's so close to not only that 114, but that 91 kilo snatch, again, was right there for her on a second and third attempt. So she doesn't quite make 200 today. 199 kilos, still a personal best. I'd wondered if that was going to be a British record, and then, of course, remembered that Zoe Smith was at one point at 59 and was extremely dominant, making over 120 kilos a few times.
Yeah. She's got room in her for, a 205 plus total. We could see that happen.
Yeah, we could.
Garance Ricard. Clean was strong, looked great on that, but then didn't have the power of the jerk. She needs this 114.
This is basically her only chance to move into a slightly stronger position for a medal.
A little bit slower clean there.
Wow. Can she hold it?
Oh my gosh.
Is sensational.
What an incredible fight.
She moved so fast under that bar in the split and then made a few micro adjustments I'm not sure I've ever seen before.
2 reds, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
What an amazing attempt.
They're playing a challenge card. They are playing a challenge.
You have to on that.
The referee said no. What did the jury say? Let's take a look.
It was just that footwork. I don't think she had any idea. She just went to save it.
I mean, let's look at these elbows, see if this angle shows anything.
It doesn't look to be.
Well, she looks out so well.
It
might have been a down signal. Did she get a down signal?
I was going to say it could be one of two things, a down signal or she wasn't standing completely erect when lowering the bar.
I don't know. I think she was locked out at the hips and knees.
That would have been a shame, either one of those.
We can see the jury now watching back. Let's see if this angle shows us anything more. It was a little bit tougher in the clean, but still strong. And how she did this on the jerk, I do not know.
Oh,
that is an amazing. Look at that back leg.
Sank down to fight with it.
I mean, those elbows are holding up because she hyperextends, so she's not going to.
You know.
You think she dropped it early?
I think that might have been it. I think there's been a bit more of that. We're seeing more of that since Pan Am's with Maddie Rogers. Just a few lifters kind of maybe.
They're making a decision.
Confused on that rule.
It's a no lift.
No lift. I don't know why. I'd have to say probably a down signal or.
I think that's what it was. I think you're right.
The buzzer came after she dropped it.
Yeah.
What a shame.
What a shame. I mean, you have to hope, and I would assume that Nina Sturks will make another attempt, and so that won't be the lift that made her miss out on the medal.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, 115 kilos. Sarah very much in it for the clean and jerk medals. No, probably not the total medals. Let's see if she can be a bit quicker in the jerk on this one.
No. Just not there. No. The power wasn't there in the drive.
Such a nice clean. So there's a real battle here. Sarah does still have one attempt, but then it's Nina Sturks has 2 attempts. Nadia Spilger has 2, and Camilla Konotop still has 3 attempts. So those are going to be the battles for gold, silver, and bronze. I wonder if Nina can pull out a silver. She didn't look physically as strong, I would say, as Nadia did, but technically she looked very sharp on that 113 opener. So she might be able to sneak it. They're neck and neck in the snatch at 93.
Yeah, this will be a big challenge for her to do that. We'll see though what Spilka can even do in the clean and jerk. Can she hold her off? All right. Sarah's coming out again. Same 115. Getting a bit of a upper back massage there.
Yeah. Okay, this will be to
possibly
move into a clean and jerk medal.
Yeah, possibly a medal.
Ah.
Unfortunately not today.
She's very disappointed with that.
So 16 now, the lift or the weight on the bar. We'll see if Nina's going to take this.
That would have been a 1 kilo personal best if she'd have made that 115. But yeah, it looks like she's going to come out now with 116 kilos. Nina's best in competition is 118, but she did that as a 55 kilo lifter. So with this extra body weight, we might be able to see her push up over that 118 mark on a 3rd attempt. if she makes this. This to regain the lead.
Good clean.
Yep. Wow.
Yep.
She really knows how to fight for these lifts. She's never going to make her second and third attempt, or even first attempt, look particularly easy.
No.
But she is going to make them.
Well, she's put a ton of pressure here on Szpilka.
Yeah, moves back
now
ahead.
Behind by 2 kilos. She's left 117 on as her second attempt, so obviously for the...
Well, she dropped down from 120.
She's going to try and pass her here with this second attempt at 117 to put her a kilo ahead of Nina. Nina's only got 1 left, though.
It's been a bit of a bloodbath, this category. We've had far more misses than we have makes. Yep, she's coming out for 117.
The Ukrainians are very strong. They've shown up in full force at most of these competitions. Last year they were incredible, and it's no different this year. So. Ooh, tough clean.
Okay.
Yeah, she was tired from that clean. You could see it. So I think that this is going to be brutal here. Nina's probably going to let her...
Yeah, she's going to steal her clock for sure.
Let her attempt, her name get called, steal the clock. Szpilka is going to probably... I would imagine take that again. I mean,
yeah,
that was
that
was a hard clean, and it did not look like it was favorable for the jerk. You know, it's so hard as an athlete and a coach when an athlete takes a lift that's that difficult, and then they're going to get basically pushed around a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just from these clock changes as well. So Szpilka now only a 1 minute clock to recover to take 17. Sturks moved to 19, which is a smart move. Szpilka can't bump up above her and get more time. And now, even if she's successful, she's not in the driver's seat. If Szpilka makes this, Sturks is still in the driver's seat. She has 1 more attempt.
All right, she's got 30 seconds on the clock. She's guaranteed a medal in the total and the clean and jerk and the snatch, but this to move into the lead. Very fast pull.
Yeah, much better clean.
Wow, so much power. Almost too much power.
That was extraordinary.
Yeah.
I did not expect that kind of energy on that third attempt.
Yeah, she really turned it on, turned it up a notch.
Yep.
So that confirms it that Nina Sturks is at least going to earn the silver medal. You've got to imagine that she'll come out and take this 119.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see her really...
Is there any reason she would do anything else?
Doing much more, actually. She may not even need to take this lift.
Well, she does. She hasn't yet competed at 59, so she does need a good total there for the Olympic qualifying.
Well, she's bumped to 20.
Yeah, 118 is her personal best ever, I believe. So she's gonna call out Kamila Konotop. I mean, if anything, she's sort of helping Kamila out because she's going to give her a bit of a rest between attempts.
Yeah, there may even be... we'll see what happens here if maybe Sturks plays nice with the clock.
Yeah. Now, Konotop is a power jerker. At the World Championships, she only made 121 kilos, so that it is a big opener here for her.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the most she's ever made. So this is a big opener.
This is very heavy.
But she's clearly in good shape after those 2 European record snatches.
Oh, yeah, that was not difficult.
Yeah.
So
you know, sometimes the Ukrainian squat jerk, she power jerks. There's no need to write that down at all.
I mean, there looks like there's 10 plus kilos there.
Yeah.
So Sturks will take this 20, most likely.
Do you think there's a chance she'll go for 121 just to get into a gold medal position in the clean and jerk?
That'd be a 5 kilo jump.
No, she's going to come out for
Yeah.
120. I mean, this is such a landmark number for a 59 kilo lifter. It
Yeah.
really separates those that are looking for world level wins from, or probably continental, from those who are just showing up to A sessions.
Huge lift for her.
Yeah, new personal best if she makes it. Can she get up with it? Oh my word. It's a tough fight. You know, there was a moment where that was locked out overhead.
Yeah, I think we all believed for a second that was going to be a make.
What's interesting about her is that where most people set their hips, or they send their hips too far back when they jerk, hers actually sort of moved forwards in front of the bar when she caught it overhead.
Yeah.
And then for that reason lost it behind rather than doing what most people do and having to run forward to save it.
Yeah, she almost keeps her head back so far, but leans into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, still
right, similar to the logo, the old Rogue logo.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in that sort of split position. All that weight on that front leg looking up. So Nina Sturks is going to go 3 for 6, 93-116, a silver medal at this championships.
Brutal event.
Yeah.
No one, well, one lifter presumably so far has made 5 lifts, or 4 lifts, sorry, but only 2 athletes have made more than, oh, sorry, my bad. 4 athletes have made 2 snatches.
Yeah.
And only 2 athletes so far have made 2 clean and jerks.
Wow. So this will be a European senior total record, I believe.
Easy clean. Right into a very strong power jerk.
Wow.
It's almost comical how strong that is.
So she now owns the senior snatch European record, the senior total European record, which has to make you wonder, is she going to go for the clean and jerk European record at 129 kilos?
That's such a big attempt, but it's only 4 kilos.
It's only 4 kilos away.
And the way that looked, I just don't see what else she would take.
Do you know what else that would do? That would give her, by 1 kilo, the biggest total of any 59 in the world from the qualification period for this.
Yeah.
It would be a winning total at the World Championships.
Wow.
She'd have beaten Yenny Alvarez, Koi Sung-chun, Mo Charon.
She's going to have to take that, I think.
I think she will. She'll ask for 127 here, wait a bit of time, and then you have to imagine they're going to go for 129. It accomplishes so many things. She becomes the #1 ranked 59 in the world.
Yeah.
She gets all 3 European senior records.
And she's just in rare form right now, incredibly strong.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot. And it pays to make lifts. You know, no other athlete has made more than 3 successful lifts. She's already made 5 successful lifts, and this could be for a 6 for 6 performance. Yeah, she doesn't look like she's coming over to take this 127. Yeah, they've asked for 129. This is going to be a new senior clean and jerk record. She's going to wipe the books here. What an incredible moment for Ukrainian weightlifting. They've lifted pretty well this European Championship so far. We had at least one Ukrainian in every A session yesterday, and 3 A sessions we saw. 2 more today competing. Kamila Konotop and Nadia Shpilka. They've guaranteed themselves medals in the snatch, clean and jerk and total, and this is just the cherry on the cake, really.
Yeah, 129 is a massive clean and jerk at 59.
And you have to assume that the rest of the world is watching this, the rest of the 59s across, you know, into Asia and over in the Pan American region to see what's happening, because she is making an assault on this category right now.
You know, it's not like they're super hard lifts. I mean, she is powerful here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my word.
That could be an opener.
Yeah, we
That
have
is so strong.
the #1 ranked 59-kilo lifter in the world now with regards to Olympic ranking.
She broke the system.
That is, yes, it looks like she did actually. That is absolutely incredible. The only athlete to make more than 3 lifts, and she doubles it with 6 lifts. 6 for 6, 106, 2 European record snatches, 1 European record clean and jerk, 2 European record totals. Kamila Konotop from Ukraine absolutely demolishes the field by, how far ahead was she? 26 kilos?
Yeah.
Above the silver medalist Nina Starks. Nina takes a silver medal for Belgium, 93-116, a 209 total. Then the bronze medal again to Ukraine, 93-114. The runner-up in fourth place, Garance Rougeau, 93-110. What a session.
Yeah, she obliterated everyone in that field. That was a rough session.